So funnels are dead. What the hell does this mean? Well, I come from a funnel background. I used to build funnels for clients. I used to have my own funnel with VSLs and ads and outreach and phone setting and all this freaking stuff. And I've been using an ecosystem instead. Now, a lot of people are being aware that funnels, one-way sales funnels, aren't the best way to scale your business. So a lot of people are making content about this, and that's why I am as well. And I want to give you my insight. I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars online. I'm not the richest person in the world, but I do know this stuff pretty damn well, and I help my clients with it. And I'm making this video because I was just speaking on a group call with my clients about it, and we were talking about funnels and why they're inferior to building a ecosystem and how you can do it. So yeah, I just want to show you basically how I do it. And so a one-way sales funnel, again, it's typically like an ad or an outreach to a VSL or just straight to a call. So a lot of people go boom, boom, boom to call and then to close. What I'm doing now is just doing what do I mean by ecosystem? Basically, an ecosystem is not a one-way funnel where like people either buy or they just dip and you never talk to them again. It's more so just building trust with people and allowing them to buy in their own time when they feel it's right to pull the trigger. And here's what I mean by this. So what I do is I just do content, and some of this can be ads. You know, the ads being boosting the content and helping to get more reach. So very organic style ads. So content content's the foundation to everything. So content and potentially adding ads on top of that to a content masked as a VSL, to a DM, to a close. I have a goal to completely eliminate sales calls altogether. And I've taken like over 1,000 sales calls, and it's just not what I want to do. I want to have blank space on my calendar, and right now my calendar's blank as hell. And yet I still make more money now than when I ran an agency with like 10 calls a day. And I was just using a traditional funnel back then. But the goal is to completely eliminate sales calls. And the only way to do that is by making content that eliminates every objection. Because fundamentally, the only purpose of a sales call is to destroy any beliefs that a prospect has that's holding them back from paying you thousands of dollars. So I've been able to do this. Like, I've been able to sell a high ticket offer strictly in the DMs, which is crazy to some people, but it's possible if you just make the right content. And I have this video on my channel where I talk about building a micro personal brand. I believe this is the future. I don't believe big personal brands are the wave. I've seen endless people do this. Maybe you know Ed Lawrence on YouTube, Film Booth. He stopped that channel to make a small channel, like a micro personal brand. James Smith is another one. He, big channel, wasn't making as much as he is on a small channel with a couple thousand subs. Because when you speak to a very specific person that you could solve their problems and you just provide value and you're not flexing a lifestyle and getting millions of views, when you speak to the masses, it's hard to sell a high ticket offer. And a high ticket offer is the best way to scale your business. And so it doesn't correlate. Like, the only way to sell a high ticket offer is to sell it to people that have the money to pay you. And the only way to attract people that have the money to pay you is to talk to them. And if you're going to talk to them, you're not talking to the masses because there's only a select few people that can actually pay you that amount. And so if you want to eliminate sales calls as well, you're going to need some form of a content ecosystem. And basically what this looks like is you just get clear on your marketing message first off, right? So I use old versus new marketing, old versus new. So basically old is like, this is the things you're doing or have done and why they suck. I was taught, like, you know, think of like throwing rocks at it, right? When you're talking about the old way to do something, you're throwing rocks at it and like you're saying, dude, this is why this thing sucks. New way is this like unique mechanism. This is the new thing that you have and all the benefits that come with it. Now, if you're selling in the online space, agency, coach, consultant, you're somebody similar to me, there's two things. I told this to a client right now a second ago. There's two ways to package your offer. I believe you either sell a funnel or you sell a model. So like what I sell is a model. I help people build a solo consulting model, which means building a micro personal brand, a high ticket consulting offer, selling in the DMs and doing all this fun stuff. And so I decided to sell a model, but I've also sold a funnel. I sold an outreach funnel. When I was doing outreach in my agency, I helped people do outreach in their agency. And I sold a funnel here, and all I would say is like the old way of doing outreach was to do it manually, was to do like low volume, etc. And the new way was to hire VAs and send like 1,000 a day. And like that message made me a lot of money because I was selling a funnel and I got clear on the old way versus new way. And if people resonated with the old way and I just showed them like, hey, I understand your problems. I understand what you went through because I went through it myself. Here's the new way. Here's how I did it. Here's how I got here. And you use stories to sell this. It's very easy to make a lot of money very quickly. So yeah, I sold an outreach funnel. Now I sell a model. And so you have to decide, are you selling a funnel or a model? Pick that first. Are you selling a funnel or a model? If you have a business model that's doing really well and you love it, sell that model. If you developed a funnel to get clients, you could sell that funnel as well. And then all you're doing is you're making content that's in alignment with that message. So only speak to people that can resonate to the old way of doing what the hell they're doing. A lot of people make that mistake. They try to go broad with their brand and then they try to become an expert to millions of people and they don't get any views, bro, and it sucks. And so that's my whole funnel versus ecosystem thing. Now, the second point I want to mention, and let me see if I can just like go down so you can see it here at the top. The second part is your buying journey. See, your buying journey, if you look back at anything that you've bought online, your buying journey is not linear. You don't just see an ad and then click, watch VSL, book a call, and then pay in full, right? You don't do that. Like anything I've bought, and I've spent a lot of money on programs and such things, it's never been like this. Majority of the time, what my buying journey looks like is I'll just see a YouTube video, I'll like watch it, then dip, then I'll see another YouTube video from that person, watch it, subscribe, then I'll just repeat. I'll keep watching videos for months until I decide I'm ready to pull the trigger. So maybe you're the same way. And I always like the reason I got into selling, or not selling, but creating an ecosystem instead of a one-way funnel, etc., is because I just look back at my buying journey and I'm like, dude, I would never see an outreach message or an ad and then book a call and then buy right away. Like I just wouldn't do that. That's not how I buy. So why would I make my clients buy differently? Doesn't make sense. Okay. And so if you're the same way and you have to consume content first and really get to know the person, I was telling the story to my clients actually. My girlfriend just got a job selling at a plastic surgery place here in Miami. And she texted me because she knows what I do. And she's like, babe, I finally need you to help me learn how to sell. And dude, I got so freaking excited when she said that. I'm like, yes, no way, finally, I can teach you how to sell, finally. And when she comes home today, I'm going to teach her how to sell. And I'm going to tell her these two things. That it's the same way to sell anything at all. Like, how do you sell? Two things that I'm going to tell her. Two things. Trust and result. Number one, you have to get somebody or get the prospect to trust you. Now, we do this in a content ecosystem with content. You make content like this video to just get people to trust you and say like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. I relate to his story, etc., etc. Content's the way you get somebody to trust you. I was talking to a client and he was telling me how he used to sell cars at a car dealership. He went 7 weeks without selling a single car. He was about to get fired. And then he started to stop like trying to sell the car and instead trying to build rapport with people that would show up. And he would always talk about like how shitty the coffee was at the dealership. And he would tell the people like, yeah, dude, isn't this coffee terrible? He would talk about the Jets, the New York Jets. He would talk about his daughters. And I asked him, I'm like, why do you think that worked? Because then he went on to hit a 10K month selling cars. Why do you think that worked? And he said, oh, you know, whatever. I said, it worked because you talking about the Jets, you talking about your daughters, you talking about the shitty coffee, gave them something to relate to and allowed them to build trust with you. In order to buy anything from anybody, they need to have some sort of level of trust with you. And so if you can just make content to increase the trust level by spending more time with you. You are no longer a stranger to your prospects. And that is the secret. And that's why if you find it hard to sell your high ticket offer, or you're just spamming outreach or running ads and it's hard to get people to buy, it doesn't have to be that way. And I used to think it did. It doesn't have to be that way. If you could just make content, bro. I used to be anti-content. I used to make fun of content creators when I was little. Not like make fun of them, but I'd be like, oh, like he's a YouTuber, right? And now I'm sitting here in my freaking apartment filming a YouTube video at 2:16 p.m. on a Tuesday. So life hits you quick, huh? But you basically make content to get people to trust you, and then you have to sell the result. So stop selling the features and everything that you do. I remember I was talking with a client. Let me actually pull this up. Let me pull this up. So I'm talking with this guy right here. Maybe you see him, Nevin. He's my client, and he has an accounting firm. He also has a coaching program teaching people how to become accountants and all this fun stuff. But he said this was his offer. Like for his tax accounting offer, we're going to handle your monthly books, your monthly profit and loss. We're going to prep everything for year-end taxes and make sure you get paid faster with automated invoicing and all this nonsense. I'm like, bro, that's not your offer. Look what I said. I said condense it. The monthly books, the P&L, tax season, those are just features of your offer. Those are just features of your offer. Business owners hate taxes. Don't focus on it. Don't even tell people you do taxes. What you do is you help business owners get paid faster and have clear numbers and financial statements to scale efficiently. He said, damn, that's smooth actually. I said, yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do, I hope. He said, haha, just proved it there. A couple texts and my offer is already different than the competition. So hopefully you see what I'm trying to get at. You have to sell the result of actually working with you. So when I'm talking to my girlfriend, right, I'm telling her, okay, you want to sell plastic surgery. Here in Miami, it's probably like 10 grand to get like a BBL. And I'm like, all right, number one, get them to trust you, relate to them and talk to them about BBLs and, like your story, whatever. Get them to trust you, talk about the shitty coffee or whatever it is in your office they can relate to, build rapport. And next thing is sell the result. So don't, this is going off the rails. I just said this to my clients. It was so funny, dude. One of my clients his wife was in the other room. He's like, bro, I have to turn you down. I'm like, bro, I'm going to tell my girl, don't talk about the silicone that's in the boob job that you're getting. No. Talk about how they're going to feel when they show up to a family event and they take a family photo and you have like this BBL, or like how guys are going to look at you. You have to sell the result of the thing that you're selling. And so if you're selling a plastic surgery 10K package, build rapport, get people to trust you by using stories and relatable things that they can relate to. And that's with your personal life. Like, so for me, I relate to a lot of guys and a lot of my clients by telling them, dude, I eat steak, I go to the gym, I drive a truck, I'm a Christian, and like these are just that's just who I am. Like there's no incentive or motive behind it. It's just like, bro, this is me. Are you cool with that? And a lot of people are like, bro, like me too, I eat steak and eggs and all this stuff. And then that's something to relate to and increase trust. And the way you do it with whatever you're selling is you make content and you show people who you are, and don't try to put on a front that you're somebody else and that you're like this perfect person. Talk about your mistakes. Talk about your stories. Talk about things people can relate to. Talk about things that not only are people going to relate to, but that are going to repel them away from you, because you don't want certain people to be attracted to you. If you're not repelling people, then you're not speaking to anybody, right? You have to repel and attract. There's two sides. It's the universal law, okay? And then ultimately, again, just sell the result. That's all I'm gonna write. Just sell the results of them working with you. A lot of the guys I work with have make more money offers. So stop talking about how many videos you're gonna edit or how many calls you're gonna get with you or how many modules you're gonna get. Dude, how much are they gonna make by working with you? That's it. And then your thing is the vehicle to there. So I have a client, Kyler Miles, guys worked with Hermosi, School Games, super cool dude. Love that guy. And we talked about it with him. I'm like, brother, because he helps entrepreneurs scale with video, making content. And I'm like, brother, you don't help people with video. No. You help people scale their business to X amount that we came up with, based on proof that he's done for other clients and himself. You help people scale their business, and it just so happens you do it with video. Right? The way I look at it is like, you have this. I talk about this all the time. A to B transformation, but here's a different way to put it, right? You help people go from point A to point B. Your vehicle, your thing, is in the middle, video. So for my client Kyler, it's like, hey, video's not the end goal that they're getting. You're helping them scale their business. It just so happens the way you get them here is with video. Hope that makes sense, right? So that's number 2, your buying journey. Your buying journey is not linear, okay? I have clients that see one video from me and they're like, yo, Christian's my guy. I know he can help me scale, et cetera, et cetera. And then they just buy. Like, that's it. I have some people that spend 12 months. I've legit had this. Someone's watched me for 12 months and then they became a client and then they ended up buying. Everybody has their own buying journey. So don't shove people into a one-way funnel. You can't do that, bro. Everybody has a different way of buying. And really all that's happening here is the guy that bought from one video just heard the proper things he needed to hear to say, okay, I'm going to work with Christian. The guy that took 12 months, it took 12 months of me getting here every single week, showing up, providing value, for him to say like, dude, you've destroyed all my objections. Like, I'm just ready to go. And like, these people don't need a sales call. They don't. They really don't. And when your content's in the right, like you actually nail this down, you're not going to need sales calls either. Now, definitely have sales calls until your offer's proven, until you've been able to close on calls above like a 30, 40% close rate, etc. And then you could transition. I haven't made the complete transition yet. Like, I want to get there. That's the goal. But we're getting there, right? Number 3, the last point here, selling without selling. This is something I tell my clients, and it resonates with them. A lot of people are chasing money, and that's why they're not making it. The next level to that is understanding you make money by serving others. You make money by helping people. You make money by solving problems for people. The next layer to that is you make the most money by serving people to simply serve them, and then they want to buy from you. So maybe you're serving to sell right now. So there's 3 layers. This is actually just came to my head right now. You have people want money, want to serve to make money, want to serve to serve. And what's interesting about this is this guy right here that just wants money makes the least money. This guy right here that wants to serve to make money makes okay money. This guy right here that wants to serve makes the most money. It's counterintuitive, but it's how it works. And it's the universal laws here. I talk about the backwards law in one of my videos. Excuse me, you can go check it out. I talk about the psychological trick that I use to sell 10K clients. It's not a trick, it's a universal law. The backwards law states the more you chase something, the more you repel it away from you. And so the more you want money, the more you're going to repel it away because people are going to tell that you actually need their money. Okay, same thing here. If you understand that you have to serve in order to sell, maybe you want to serve, but you want to serve to make money. And so that intention and that vibe comes off in your videos, right? And that's when you'll make okay money. The people that make the most money simply show up to serve. They show up to help people, and then as a byproduct, they make the most amount of money in the world. And so if you want to sell without selling, just show up to serve people and help them. And you don't need a call to action. You don't need to ask people to buy from you. They'll want to buy from you. That is it, point blank period. It's taken me so long to learn that, dude. And so funnels are dead. You understand these 3 points? Hopefully you can understand as well why ecosystems are superior in my opinion. And again, all that an ecosystem is, it's understanding that people have their own buying journey. And people will buy when you destroy all the possible objections they have. The best way to scale is with content. And then, I never explained this, content masked as a VSL. Just host your VSL on YouTube, dude. Like, host a video where you show people like, hey, this is the old way of doing this. Again, you're either selling a funnel or a model. This is the old way of a funnel or a model. This is the new way of the new funnel or model. And then that's a VSL on YouTube, and then you drive that attention from your other content or from any ads to that VSL. You destroy objections by continuing to post content, and then you get people in the DMs when you decide to serve that want to pay you. I'm telling you, this has changed my life. And if you do this, you will make a lot of money, dude. Like, I don't have much more else to say. So I'll end it here. Thank you for watching. Peace out.